For as long as humanity has gazed at the night sky, Venus has been a mystery wrapped in brilliance. It is the brightest object in the night sky after the moon, a beautiful evening star, a shimmering morning beacon, a jewel suspended in the darkness. Early astronomers saw its soft glow and wondered if it might be Earth's twin, a kindred world teeming with oceans, clouds, even life. But as our telescopes sharpened and our probes ventured closer, a horrifying truth emerged. Beneath that veil of clouds lies the most treacherous environment in the entire solar system, a planet that destroys every robotic visitor we send. A planet where the laws of geology and atmosphere push themselves to violent extremes. A world so hostile that even our most advanced machines can survive only minutes on its surface. Venus is not Earth's twin. Venus is Earth's nightmare. And understanding why may reveal not only the history of our solar system, but the future of our own planet. For centuries, Venus was a world of imagination precisely because we couldn't see it. Its surface is buried beneath a global blanket of clouds so reflective, so impenetrable, that even the most powerful telescopes reveal nothing beneath. And so, humanity dreamed. Oceans, continents, tropical forests, swamps filled with exotic life. A sister planet, hidden only by a soft white veil. The truth, when it finally arrived, was catastrophic. Those clouds weren't water vapor. They weren't the comforting haze of an Earth-like atmosphere. They were made of sulfuric acid, a planet-wide shroud of corrosive droplets suspended in the sky like a toxic fog. The brilliant glow that once inspired hope became an omen of something far more sinister. Venus's clouds are one of the most hostile atmospheric features in the solar system. They reflect sunlight so efficiently that the planet gleams like a beacon. But beneath them lies a world that absorbs heat like a furnace. A world where light goes in and never escapes. Imagine standing on the surface of Venus. The first sensation would be weight, not just from your suit, but from the crushing atmosphere pressing down on you with the force of being nearly a kilometer beneath Earth's oceans. The pressure is so immense that spacecraft rims buckle, steel bends, and delicate electronics collapse under the strain. And then, the heat. A temperature of 900 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than the surface of Mercury, despite being nearly twice as far from the sun, hot enough to melt lead. Hot enough to turn metal brittle. Hot enough that any lander we send begins to die the moment it touches down, its circuits frying, its instruments warping, its systems suffocating under the pressure and heat. The Soviet Venera landers survived only minutes before succumbing. Their last images, distorted, ghostly, suffocating, show a landscape baked into stillness. No wind. No water, no relief, just endless plains of shattered rock beneath a sky the color of rust. Venus is a world where survival is not just improbable, it is nearly impossible. But Venus's true danger does not lie in its rocks or heat alone. The real catastrophe is its atmosphere, a suffocating ocean of carbon dioxide. Here, greenhouse gases don't just warm the planet, they dominate it. They trap heat with perfect efficiency, turning Venus into the ultimate example of a runaway greenhouse effect. The sunlight pierces the sulfuric clouds, strikes the surface, and becomes heat. But the thick atmosphere locks it in. Nothing escapes. Over millions of years, this feedback loop drove temperatures higher. Oceans evaporated, water was lost to space, and Venus transformed from a world that may once have resembled Earth into a planetary pressure cooker. Venus is hell not because of its proximity to the sun, but because its atmosphere refuses to let go of heat. It is a world caught in a thermal trap of its own making. And this is why Venus matters deeply to us, because it shows what can happen when climate goes beyond recovery. Strangely, despite its surface being nearly still, Venus's upper atmosphere is a storm unlike anything in the solar system. Hurricane-force winds tear across the skies at more than 200 miles per hour, circling the planet in just a few days. This phenomenon, known as superrotation, defies simple explanation. It is as if the atmosphere has detached from the planet and chosen to move on its own. Near the poles, immense vortices twist like cosmic whirlpools, boiling with turbulent gases. Lightning has been detected in the cloud layers, illuminating the toxic haze. These storms never touch the surface. Nothing moves in the heat and pressure below, but they rage endlessly above, feeding off thermal energy and chemical reactions foreign to anything on Earth. It is a world where two planets coexist, a silent hellscape below, and a raging tempest above. For years, scientists debated whether Venus was geologically dead. The surface appears young, only a few 100 million years old, but the question remained: is the planet still active today? Recent observations suggest the answer may be yes. Venus might be home to ongoing volcanic eruptions, magma flows, and tectonic shifts. The planet could be actively reshaping itself beneath that crushing atmosphere. If true, Venus is not just dangerous, it is alive, erupting, and evolving. Volcanoes on Venus release sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, feeding its acidic clouds and altering its climate. Eruptions may trigger global changes, resurfacing vast regions in molten rock. On Venus, geology isn't gentle, it's catastrophic. Entire continents could be swallowed and reborn in fire. A living world, but a lethal one. Perhaps the most haunting truth about Venus is how similar it once may have been to Earth. Computer models suggest that Venus might have had shallow oceans, rain, clouds, and a climate stable enough to support life. Its transformation into a furnace was not inevitable, it was triggered. Small changes in solar intensity, atmospheric composition, or water content may have cascaded into global catastrophe. The oceans boiled. Hydrogen escaped into space. Carbon dioxide took over, and the planet crossed a threshold from which there was no return. Venus is a warning, a reminder that planetary climates are delicate, that heat can spiral beyond control, that habitability is easier lost than gained. It is a message from our cosmic neighbor. This is what happens when a planet goes too far. So why is Venus the most dangerous planet in the solar system? Because it is a world where every deadly force converges. Heat that melts metal, pressure that crushes steel, atmospheric acid that dissolves everything it touches, winds that scream across the sky, volcanoes that may erupt endlessly, and a climate that stands as a monument to planetary catastrophe. Venus is not just dangerous, it is a cosmic cautionary tale, a world that shows us how fragile habitability truly is, a world that reveals the razor-thin balance between paradise and hell. And yet, in its danger lies knowledge. In its hostility lies truth. Venus is more than a vision of destruction. It is a mirror held up to our own world, reminding us how precious and how vulnerable Earth really is. Because the most dangerous world in the solar system is not dangerous by chance. It is dangerous by evolution, by chemistry, by physics, by fate. A world of beauty from afar, and absolute terror up close.